We are all swinging like a pendulum through duality at times. To free ourselves from this swing through duality and into wholeness, we need to identify that internal process, spectrum, and allowance. In PSA, we will dive into the process within spectrums that are pushed by momentum, which create the structured illusion of our movement through cycles. The same cycles and patterns that form our lives. With body balancing techniques, I will bring to light new ways that we can practically shift out of oscillation and into direction, shifting our whole paradigm. Welcome to your weekly PSA. Today we're going to talk about the pendulum swing between staying still, stuck, and the momentum that is pushed by what we're supposed to do. Let's break this down. So the process when we're looking at staying still and stuck, it can be determined by like this wave of why me's. It's the wake of what we feel or have been told what we're supposed to be. This wave is like the curvature of the S between the swing from being stuck, still, or staying. This is the shift in how we discern non-movement and how our central nervous system and all our other systems express this state. When you aren't moving, how are your systems being? What is it that they tell you about your surroundings or even about yourself? Paying attention to how we process this state and not moving can determine how good or bad our day is. Let's take a look at the swing. So now when we look at this spectrum from one side to the other, place yourself in a house, doing nothing or listening to your body or just not going anywhere. What comes up? You could feel stuck. You could feel completely okay with just staying where you are, or even an allowance of being still in your own space. But what happens to this truth outside of your comfort zone? Being still is one side of the spectrum of the state of not moving, and the opposite would be feeling stuck by this non-movement, right? The push in either of these directions is based on our thought process, which gains its momentum from what we feel we are supposed to be doing. This suppose is a big driving factor which can determine our day and how we react or respond going forward. This is where we have the availability of awareness to expand and the choice of what we would like to be minus the supposed to be. Now, the allowance. The allowance comes in dissolving the suppositions of the mind, the body, and being. It's this process of shifting our perspective of what and who we choose to believe that we are, have been, and are going to be in the future. This shift into choice gives our conscious mind the freedom to allow for a new look into neutrality and subtraction of the narrative that has been playing in our subconscious that may lead to regret being processed into the central nervous system. With this freedom, when that feeling arises and says, "Why me?" you won't feel like non movement is such a bad thing. Non movement can be a good thing if we choose it. Riding that wave and waving goodbye to your supposed to be's can be liberating and freeing toward the allowance of safety in your state of being. P.S. The paradigm shift is whether you're staying still or staying stuck. The choice is yours to listen to who is telling you what. Remind yourself you are only supposed to be doing what you'd like to be. Thank you for tuning in to this week's PSA. I trust that with this widened perspective of simultaneous contrast, we can begin to identify and apply these practices to help self-regulate the momentum of these swings and dissolve rotating cycles into rocketing spirals. So I ask you, what swings you in and out of your alignment?